Phillips screwdriver. Pull the cover off. And then there's 3 Allen bolts there holding the gasket on. Looks like that one's loose. So we'll get an Allen wrench. We might not need an Allen wrench. Nope. They're all loose. This is not my bike, it's a neighbor's bike. But more than likely you will need an Allen wrench on yours. Take the filter off, then you need to take, these are 1/2 inch. That's a 1/2 inch wrench. Then you can move that out of your way. And there, the black piece is the choke cable, and it hooks inside the carburetor. So you're going to have to remove these brackets, remove the fuel line, this line just to get it out of the way. Cleans everything. This hose right here, you need to go to the other side and make sure that your petcock valve is off. There's on, that's reserve, there's off. Sorry, I'm trying to do this with one hand backwards. Take the screwdriver, get it under the hose, and there's going to be a little gas come out, I'm sure. Now we can work the rest of that up off of there, maybe. These 2 bolts here are going to be 3/4 of an inch. And watch, because they have washers on each side of these bolts, because they do run into the heads. See, they're open there and open there. That lets the air flow to each head evenly. And watch the whole time. Make sure you keep doing everything right. There went my bottom washer. Because you'll have a outside washer and an inside washer, but it's a little hard to get out of the boot. But not super hard. And then I can show you, here's your choke. And there's a nut holding it inside the carburetor. Okay, the choke is a 9/16. Move this camera around here. You have to use your wrench going in like that, but it'll break loose pretty easy. Okay, after you undo this nut right here, then this piece pulls right out for the choke. We have a twist nut on this side that you can undo by hand. And then you should be able to undo this one by hand. Unscrew it, then that slides out of the bracket, which is kind of tricky, but and you make sure you leave that washer on the back side, and then you spin that nut down on there. We'll get a wrench to tighten that up with, but we'll go back to the other side. And I'll try to get this camera up here where you can see. This choke cable needs to be over top of your fuel line. And then you just shove it inside the hole there. And then you get the thread started on it. That plastic piece screws inside the carburetor, so your fingers are basically like that, getting it in there. Then we take our 9/16 wrench and we stick it on there as best we can get it on there, and we turn it and tighten it up. We're going to do everything in reverse. Put your fuel line back on. Flat screwdriver, make sure your line is all the way down. You start that boot on there at the top and work it to the bottom. That's the best way I've found to do it. Then you slide your carburetor on there like that. Here comes the fun part. Remember, I told you to stack them washers. There's one that goes here. Then you around and I can get my bolt holes lined up. They actually should line up anyways, but for some reason they don't. So if you just go about it like that, then you can get your breather holder on there. And remember, clockwise is tightening. Sorry if my fingers are in the way, but yes, clockwise is 99% of the time in the United States, clockwise is tightening and counterclockwise is loosening. Now we need to spin these on in. Remember, those were 1/2 inch. See, clockwise tightening. Now, do not forget to tighten your big bolts back up, the 3/4 bolts. Like I said, if you stack your washers wrong, or you forget to tighten those up, you're going to have oil blowing everywhere. Oil, whatever you want to call it. I live in Tennessee, so it's oil to me. Okay, those are tightened up. Now, set your filter up there and see how it goes on. Remember, mine wasn't tight. Well, it's not my bike. My neighbor's filter was not tight. You want to make sure these are snug. Anyways, you should not be able to turn them out by your fingers. These are T25s. If you have hex head, these T25s will fit pretty decent on hex head or star. Definitely good enough to tighten down a filter. Now, clockwise, tighten. Actually, I guess the Star T25 fits those better than the Allen wrench does. And they're Allen bolts, and I have the tools over there to do it. I just didn't go get them. I'm in a hurry sometimes too. Okay, this is the old one that was on here. Somebody bought this other one and put it on, so hey, once again, it's not my bike.